The darkness swallowed Darren whole, thick and oppressive like a shroud over his skin. He couldn't see, couldn't hear anything but the thundering of his own heartbeat. His breath came in shallow gasps, and for a moment, he wondered if this was it, if the whispers had finally taken him, consumed him whole. But then, a faint light flickered to life, illuminating the church once more. The figure was gone, replaced by silence. The flashlight, which had rolled across the floor, lay still, its beam weak but steady. Darren's hand shook as he picked it up, the cold metal buzzing against his skin. He turned slowly, eyes darting to the doors, but they remained firmly shut. His mind raced, grappling for an explanation, for a way out, but deep down, Darren knew. There was no leaving Hollow's End. Not anymore. He moved toward the altar, driven by something deeper than fear now, something darker. The whispers were gone, but an unseen presence still lingered, heavy and watchful. His steps echoed in the cavernous space as he approached the pulpit. Behind it, a small door sat ajar, its wood splintered, as if forced open long ago. Without thinking, Darren pushed it open. Beyond was a narrow staircase spiraling downward into the earth, the stone walls damp and slick with age. The air grew colder as he descended, each step heavier than the last. The stairs seemed to stretch on forever, winding into the bowels of the earth. The deeper he went, the more the darkness pressed in, suffocating and alive. Finally, the stairs opened up into a vast chamber, carved deep into the rock. The walls were lined with shelves, each one stacked with crumbling books and ancient tomes. In the center of the room was a pedestal, and on it, a single object, a leather-bound book, worn and cracked. Darren approached cautiously, drawn to the book like a moth to flame. There was no dust on it, no sign that it had aged along with the rest of the chamber. It looked new, untouched, but something about it was deeply wrong. His fingers hovered over the cover, hesitant. He could feel the weight of it, a deep, pulsing energy that thrummed through the air. The whispers had stopped, but something far more sinister was waiting here. Darren took a deep breath and opened the book. At first, the pages were blank, yellowed with time but unmarked. He flipped through, faster now, but the further he went, the more the pages darkened, as though soaked with ink or blood, and then the words began to appear, scrawled in a jagged hand. "You are the key." Darren's vision blurred, the words swimming on the page as a cold realization settled in. He had been brought here, not to find the voices, but to release them. As if on cue, the walls began to hum, a low vibration that grew louder with each passing second. Darren dropped the book, stumbling back as the shelves around him rattled. The ground beneath his feet trembled, and a fissure split the floor, releasing a foul stench into the air. From the crack, something began to rise. It wasn't human, not anymore. The figure from the church, now a towering silhouette of writhing shadows and bone, emerged from the chasm, its hollow eyes fixed on Darren, and the voices returned, louder than before. "You brought us back." The thing reached out, its hand, a tangle of fingers, claws, and tendrils, stretching toward him. Darren staggered backward, his body frozen with terror. He had unleashed something ancient, something that had been waiting for centuries, and it wasn't just the town of Hollow's End that would suffer. The figure loomed closer, its presence filling the chamber with a suffocating weight. Darren knew he couldn't run. There was nowhere left to go. "You belong to us now," the voices hissed. As the creature's hand closed around him, Darren felt his mind unravel, the last remnants of his will slipping away into the void. He had come looking for answers, for the voices that had haunted him, but now he was part of them, and the world was about to hear their call.